Ooh. Wow. Oh, hey. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. This is Rick Ward, Urban Air Gunner. No, I'm not shooting air guns right now. I'm out shooting some powder burners, rim fires. Golly, man, this is one of my old rimfire 22s, and it's got quite a story behind it. Golly, where do I start at? I tell you what, let me do first. I'm going to put this on safe, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the magazine out. I think I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of the ammo out. There's only a few shots left, and we'll just put it right back in there. This old gun right here. All right, make sure we're empty. Well, guys, I was digging through the closet the other day. My dad passed away about 2 years ago, and so I was digging through the closet. My mom is, we're going to move her in with us here pretty soon. She's moving off the old family place down in Texas, and going to move up here to Georgia with us. So making room as usual, and so I got to digging around. And you guys know me as an air gunner. Well, long before that, I was a rimfire burner and a powder burner guy, and I still am. I still enjoy it. I do a lot of hunting and shoot a lot of guns. But my heart is in the air gun business, and just because of living in urban areas, when you can't shoot powder, you can shoot air. So anyhow, I'm digging through the closet, and I came across some guns that just brought back a ton of memories. And yeah, you know, I'm man enough to admit there might have been a few tears there. There may not have been. But I found 5 rimfire guns that were just, I guess, my all-time favorite as a kid growing up. And they all have a story behind them. So I thought, you know what, I'd like to do a couple videos on some of my favorite guns growing up as a kid. And I acquired a lot of them as a kid. And so in no particular order, I just grabbed this one. This one actually was a dealer sample. My great uncle was a traveling salesman back in the 40s. And back in those days, throughout Texas, he would run through the back roads and wherever. And a lot of people didn't have transportation back then or access to it. So the company that he worked for, he would drive out there. He'd take his catalog and he'd show them, and he had samples in the trunk of his car. And that way the people could see them. Some of the Schrade knife videos that you've seen, maybe, knives that survived my childhood, or Schrade knives of my childhood. Those were dealer samples that he had over the years. And so he had 2 of these guns. One of them went to a cousin of mine, a second cousin actually, or it may have been another great uncle. And then my grandfather was given one by my great uncle, and which would be his brother-in-law. Go figure that one out. His brother-in-law gave it to him. And this is a Remington Sports Master model 512. Okay, this particular gun, there's nothing fancy about it. In fact, if you guys look real close, I'll try to run it up there a little bit. You see all the scratches and the dings on the gun, and it's just painted wood. I don't even think it's stained. I think it's just kind of a brown paint, or just a light stain. Just nothing real fancy about it. It was just a basic gun. The neat thing about it is you could shoot 22 shorts, longs, and long rifle out of it. And from what I understand, back in that day, long rifle was really kind of hard to get a hold of. There was not a shortage of 22 shorts and longs, and they were quiet. A lot of people bought this gun. They made them, I think, through 1940, must have been 1949, right up to 1962, 3, 4, somewhere in there. They didn't have a very long run. I've not seen a lot of these guns out there. It's funny because my mother-in-law actually has her brother's old Sports Master, and it was a single shot, which I don't know the number on it. I've not even looked at it in years, but this gun, I never really got to shoot it a bunch when I was a kid. My grandpa always said you can't wear out such a fine piece of equipment. And but it was always an accurate gun. Every time we'd get together and go out and shoot it, we'd always have a ball with it. After my grandpa passed away, my grandmother had called me over to the house and told me she wanted me to have this gun because it was always, I guess I just always bothered Grandpa about wanting to shoot it. And so she felt like I needed to have it so I could get it out of my system. But just a great little gun. It has a 16 or 17 rounds, I believe, the tube magazine holds in long rifle. It holds upwards of 20 or 22 shorts. I have not put any shorts in it in years, so I don't know, but it's really, really accurate. And so this is just one of my favorite guns from my childhood, rimfire. And like I said, this particular gun was made in 1949. So my uncle was a young man trying to make a living and driving from farm to farm and town to town and showing his wares. And you know, this gun I think it sold for like 65 bucks when it was brand new, or less, like 49, 50 bucks. And which was a lot of money back then. But this was a state-of-the-art repeater. I mean, the barrel, my gosh, the barrel is long. It's 24, it's longer than 24, but I don't know all the specs on it, but it's a long barrel. So anyhow, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get my ears back on because, you know, hearing protection. Turn them on here. Hello. Can I hear myself? Yeah. So we got hearing protection on, got a couple steels set up down here. I'm just going to go ahead and run the rest of these out. And golly, man, Remington Sports Master 512. If you ever get a chance to get your hands on one, it's a great little gun. You can shoot 22 short, long, and long rifle out of it. So let's just shoot again here, see what we can hit. Oh, a little popper action there. Oop, missed that little spinner. There we go. Made up for lost time. And we're out. Whew, there you go. Golly, there it is right there. One of my favorite guns of my childhood, a 1949 Remington Sports Master 512. Just a lot of fun, and again, I really enjoyed shooting these things when I was a kid. So guys, this is just one of the 22 rimfires that I grew up with, and I really have always loved this gun. It was golly, you know, my great uncle used to tell me stories, and man, I just loved him, just absolutely loved him. And my grandpa as well. You know, Grandpa he wasn't much of a shooter, but he'd get out every now and then and plink around with the 22 out on the farm when all the family came down. And yeah, my great uncle, man, he was a neat guy. Just could listen to him for hours telling stories. But anyway, the Remington Sports Master 512. This is a 1949 model, and absolutely love it. And now that I have rediscovered my old 22 rimfires, probably going to bring the kids out and let them shoot a little bit too. So anyway, so again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I cannot thank you enough. Leave your comments below. I'd like to hear your stories about the Remington Sports Master 512 because I know it is a very sentimental gun. So, guys, until next time, this is Rick Ward, the Urban Air Gunner, shooting rimfire. We'll catch you next time.